in fact, the history of this plant dates well over 300 years, primarily belonging to the Khoisan tribe.
Hmm.
As early as the 17th century, the Dutch traders actually came across this plant and they were using it for trade. It was actually a form of currency at one point, and it was a well-known plant. The local guys noticed that anytime they chewed the plant, it gave them strength to their limbs, gave them memory, and they could go days on end without food or water. But being a botanical plant, right, it is dependent on how the plant is grown, the environmental conditions. So you have to control the growing protocol of this plant. Otherwise, you could end up with various cultivars of this plant. So it's also important to note that although there's a plant Sclerotium, there are different cultivars of it, and it's also
Right.
because of the exposure of environmental conditions.
So do you guys grow it in greenhouses now and this?
Well, we grow it under sustainable cultivation, but not typically your typical greenhouse.
Because it grows in arid areas if
Yes,
it's in the Northern Cape.
the wild harvesting happens in arid areas, which is where traditionally the Khoisan people lived, because they lived in dry, arid regions. But the plant is protected by the South African government under the Biodiversity Act, so we're not encouraged to do wild harvesting. So what we need to do is develop sustainable cultivation practices, which is where the late Dion Hofmeyer came in to help us get that right.